Buffett's biggest advantage was never picking winners. It was refusing to play games he didn't understand. Everyone wants the secret to what Warren Buffett does. I'll tell you the secret right now, and it's going to feel like a letdown. The secret is mostly what he refuses to do. There's a phrase Buffett and his longtime partner, Charlie Munger, have used for decades: the circle of competence. Draw a circle around the handful of things you genuinely understand, deeply, not casually, and make your biggest decisions only inside that circle. Everything outside it, you're allowed to admit you don't know. You're even allowed to say so, loudly, in public, for decades. That sounds almost too simple to be a strategy, but watch what it actually costs him to follow it. In the late 1990s, while the entire market was falling over itself to buy internet stocks, nobody could explain the business model of Buffett put it plainly in his 1999 shareholder letter. Our problem, which we can't solve by studying up, is that we have no insights into which participants in the tech field possess a truly durable competitive advantage. And he took real criticism for it. Commentators openly wondering if he'd lost his touch, if the old man had finally fallen behind. Then the dot-com bubble collapsed, the way overheated stories eventually do. We covered exactly how that pattern works 2 episodes ago, and the discipline that looked like stubbornness in 1999 looked like wisdom by 2002. Not because he predicted the crash. He never claimed to. He just refused to bet on a game he didn't understand, regardless of how good the story sounded. Here's what makes this genuinely hard, and why almost nobody actually does it, even though everybody's heard the advice. Admitting the edge of your own competence feels like admitting weakness. It doesn't feel like a strategy. It feels like losing out on something everyone else is getting rich from. That feeling, that specific uncomfortable feeling of watching other people make money doing something you've decided not to do, is the entire test. We've talked about overconfidence before on this channel. The fact that most people rate themselves an above-average investor, when only half of them, at most, can actually be right about that. The circle of competence is Buffett's structural defense against his own overconfidence. He doesn't trust himself to know the edges of his own knowledge in the moment, under pressure, with a good story in front of him. So he draws the line in advance, while he's calm, and he commits to it before the pressure ever arrives. That's the actual skill, not knowing more than everyone else about more things. Knowing with total honesty which things are actually his to have an opinion on, and having the discipline to sit still on everything else, even while the story outside his circle is getting louder and more convincing by the day. You don't need Buffett's money to use this, you need his honesty. Before you put real money behind an idea, ask yourself one question, out loud if you have to. Could I explain, in plain language, exactly how this makes money and what would have to go wrong for it not to? If the honest answer is no, that's not outside information. That's the edge of your own circle, and it's telling you something useful. Scars are just tuition you've already paid. Next episode, we're looking at the flip side of this discipline, the bias that convinces almost everyone they're already inside the circle. Subscribe so you don't miss it.